Hello, welcome to video 3 on our series of how to unfriend our inner critic. Today we'll be talking about how the inner critic is born, as well as looking at core beliefs and what are our core beliefs and how do they shape how we see the world and how we interact with others. So I'll start with saying that our inner critic is made from messages and information we get from number 1, our interaction with others, number 2, our beliefs and values taught by our parents and authority figures, and number 3, our input from the outside world. So things like our favorite movies, our favorite music, TV shows, our favorite celebrities, our role models, and also like the kind of friends that we hang around. All of these give us input, give us information. We look at how other people do things and live their lives, and from observing other people, we understand how we can also interact and do things the same kind of way. And with all of these factors combined with our own personal experience, this is what we create what is known as our worldview. So how we see the world, all of this develops into from our worldview into our beliefs. So we get our beliefs from how we see the world, and how we see the world comes from how we're raised, people talking into our own lives, and the things that we enjoy. And over time, these beliefs, very few of them will kind of trickle down, and they'll create what is called our core beliefs. And these are core beliefs that are inward ideas that are very hard to remove. So if you grow up and you're an overachiever and you keep getting A's in school and you keep you study really hard for tests and you try really hard when you play sports and games and stuff, as you get older, that will be ingrained in you. That will become a core belief that you're a very competitive person, or that you're an overachiever. And some people that you meet outside they may notice this, and they say, wow, you really like sports, or you really like to study for tests and stuff. And this will just continue to reinforce this belief in our core belief, saying that yes, I am an overachiever. Yes, I do like to get A's, and I do like to do all this stuff. So our core beliefs are shaped by how we see the world and what we believe, as well as what other people tell us. So if what other people tell us align with our core beliefs, it continues to strengthen that core belief even more. And I use like a very positive example of somebody that tries and does things and gets A's, but the truth is that not everybody is an overachiever. And so this is kind of my introduction to the inner critic. So sometimes our core beliefs may not be so positive. We can have some core beliefs that are negative, some core beliefs like the opposite of being overachiever. So you can believe that you're lazy, and if this is true, when it's time to study for a test or something, more people you might procrastinate more, or you might not want to do the test. And this will get reinforced if you don't study for the test and you don't worry about it, and then when you go to school you get a low mark on your grade, or you fail the test, and then your parents will see it, and what will happen is they will say, why didn't you try more? You could have passed this test. And as they do that, when you're very young, these kind of statements that your parents will make, if they're negative, they will kind of go into our brain, and they will also shape our core beliefs. So we'll grow up thinking that we're procrastinating, or we're being lazy, or we're not putting in enough effort. And so you can see how there's negative and there's positive core beliefs that can help shape us as we grow up. And it's important to understand that inner critic is not a bad thing. It starts out very positive because it helps us see the world, and it helps us be critical of the world. So when somebody tells us that we're lazy, we can look back and say, hey, I'm not really that lazy like other people are saying. I do work. And the inner critic can help us to defend our own beliefs and defend who we are from people who may try to lie to us or deceive us. And so the inner critic starts out well, but over time, if somebody's constantly telling you something negative, eventually you're going to believe that. And it's very easy to believe things that are said negatively than they are positively. So over time, we tend to take in more negative messages that the world is sending us rather than the positive stuff. And this eventually becomes what we know as the inner critic. The inner critic is this part of us that over time it develops into kind of this thing that will, whenever something negative happens, the inner critic will magnify it and make it 10 times worse, or make us feel 10 times bad. And what happens is it starts to affect our own personality, and we kind of magnify our own faults. And so this is where things like self-esteem can really help, because as we develop healthy self-esteem, we can look at separating what the truth is that the inner critic is saying, as well as looking at the lies. And self-esteem helps us to say, yes, this part is true about me that the inner critic's telling me, but the rest of it I can throw out with the trash because it doesn't really help me at all. And sadly, a lot of people are unable to do this because they take the whole thing that the inner critic is telling us as truth. And so hopefully during this video series, you're going to learn how to develop good, healthy self-esteem and healthy boundaries, and how to control that inner critic and that part of us that will tell us more lies than it will tell us truth. And so I hope that this helps. And to even show the point more, I have a little picture here that I can show you that shows about core beliefs. And so we see core beliefs as, for example, a situation. So you may meet a new person in a coffee shop and you might think, hey, I would like to go say hi and maybe ask this person to be my friend. And if they would like to go coffee with me later. So from there, our core beliefs will tell us kind of about ourselves and whether or not we will actually go through with this. So one example for core beliefs is if you have positive core beliefs, you may have this idea of, I am worthy, I am beautiful or handsome, or, I can approach this person and not feel nervous or not feel bad about it, or feel like I'm making a mistake. And so if you have the positive core beliefs saying that you are worthy and that, you can go up and talk to this person, then you'll have that courage to go up. And the thought or the consequence that will be from that will be, we might have fun if we go out together. And so that's your thought, is that it doesn't really matter if the person says yes or no. I can ask them and be confident about asking them. And if they say yes, great, we can have fun. And if they say no, then it's not really going to hurt me at all. It's not going to hurt who I am or my core belief. However, on the other side, if your core belief is negative and you're listening to your inner critic more, then you're less likely to go out and talk to that person, because all of a sudden all these things will start pouring in and you will be telling yourself things like, I'm not worthy, or that why would this person think I'm handsome or beautiful? They're probably going to think I'm weird for going up and talking to them. And who does that? Who goes up and talks to people randomly? And so the consequence of that will be you'll be listening to your inner critic more, and you will say, why would I talk to this person? Why would they even think about going out and hanging out with me? They don't want to be my friend. And so the action of that is that if you tend to listen to your inner critic more, then you're actually going to value what they say, because if they say yes, you're going to be surprised, and if they say no, you're going to kind of expect it and say, of course they're going to say no. And so with that kind of mindset in mind, the inner critic will tell you, don't even bother talking to that person, because they're probably not going to be interested anyway. And so that's kind of like a quick example of how our core beliefs will inform us in making decisions in the real world. And these kind of things happen all the time. So with this video, hopefully you can look at core beliefs and examine more about your own behaviors and your own thoughts, and recognize when the inner critic is talking to you. So that's the video for this week, and I hope you like it, and I hope you can take a bit of what we're saying and apply it for the rest of the week. So thank you very much. Bye.